This is the Aniioki A8 Pro Max. It's so badass, it's got two motors. It's got two discs up front with dual calipers. It's got a matching back brake. It's got 60 volts and a load of amp hours. I don't even know. This whole thing is full of battery. It's got like a 100-mile range. The display is beautiful. It's got blinkers and a brake light and a headlight. If you've been in the electric pit bike or e-bike scene for at least 5 minutes, you know that law enforcement around the world is cracking down on electric dirt bikes, pit bikes, e-bikes, the Surons, the Talarias, the whole thing. Did Aniioki crack the case? I don't know. You tell me. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So like I said in the opener, electric dirt bikes, pit bikes, e-bikes are gaining attention around the world. Aniioki went and they went a different direction. This is a 60-volt dual hub motor e-bike. You could call it a motorcycle, you could call it a moped. It has a claimed speed of 40 plus miles an hour. With me on it, we're gonna find out exactly how fast it goes. But what I wanna talk about first is the specs and what components come together to make this bike what it really is, which is either a dirt bike or an e-bike or a motorcycle. I don't know, I'm still confused, but I like it. Let me start off by saying this bike comes with a tremendous manual and you're gonna need it. I needed it. I put 200,000 of these things together and I can do it without even opening my eyes. But with this one, it took a little bit more time. There's a couple more steps, there's a couple more parts. So take a look at the manual, check it out. When my bike came in, it had a little bit of damage on it. Got a scuff on the side of the fork here. No big deal, I'm not sweating it. This thing is made to ride off road and do cool stuff. So if it gets a scratch on it, no biggie. So for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna start at the front and we're gonna work our way back. This is the Aniioki A8 Pro Max. Okay, this one has 20-inch by 4-inch tires. There's a couple different variants of this bike on their website. This is the 60-volt version, dual hub motors. It is so big, it has 2 boxes. Even the tools are big. That's a 21mm nut on the front and the back for that axle. Massive. The discs are 300mm on both sides. There's one on both sides. This is the first e-bike I've ever seen with 2 discs. I mean, why wouldn't it? With that 50-mile-an-hour top speed, we're gonna need good brakes. Not only are the discs huge, the brakes are huge. Check those suckers out. They're massive. You could stop a train with those. They look like 6-piston calipers. They're not. They're 2-piston calipers, but they match the rear, which I like. I like things that match. And they look quality. Look at the quality that they put into those, the time and the effort and the anodizing. It's a very, very nice touch. The fork on the Aniioki A8 Pro Max is adjustable. Underneath this cap right here, you can add air to this shock to make it stiffer or softer. And on the other side, it also has rebound and dampening, which actually works because a lot of times on e-bikes, they just put a knob on there for looks so that they can say on the website that it's adjustable, and it's really not.
No, it actually works.
You can actually adjust the way the fork acts under the conditions in which you're riding. And moving up the forks here, we have the headlight. Now it has a daytime running light and it has a high beam. The headlight has a built-in horn. It's kind of like your typical Suron e-bike Talaria type horn. It also has blinkers front and back. One good thing about the blinkers is on the back side here, it has cutouts so that if you are riding along and you leave your blinker on, it has a light on the back side that'll indicate to you that you left your blinker on. Pretty cool. So Aniioki has a patented technology on these e-bikes and I have yet to see it on another e-bike. But what ends up happening is when you squeeze your front brake, it runs down and the pressure goes into this block right here at the front. From there, it will send equal amounts of pressure to the front calipers on the front wheel, and it also sends pressure to the rear brake. If you look here on the brake caliper in the rear, it has 2 lines. It has one line coming off of this block, which is going to add pressure when you squeeze the front brake. And it also has a designated line for using the rear brake solely. So when you apply the front brake, it stops the front wheel and it'll apply pressure to the rear wheel as well. As we work our way back towards the back of the bike, we're gonna talk about this battery. This battery is massive. You can charge it from the outside of the bike right here, or you can put the key in on the right side, turn the key and just pull the battery out and charge it away from the bike if you don't want to carry this bike up some flight of stairs, if you want to charge the battery somewhere else. This bike weighs 160 something pounds. It is hard to get around. It's big, it's massive, it's fast, it has a lot of range. It's not gonna be the type of bike you throw in the back of your car, you know, fold up and off you go. This thing is a purpose-made bike for speed and range, and that's what this battery is for. Moving back here in this area, you're probably wondering what this is for. This is where the controllers are housed. This bike has 2 controllers. It has a controller for the front and it has a controller for the rear. Dual controllers, dual motors. They're 35 amps each. When you go in mode 4 and 5 on the display, I'll show you here in a second, it goes to the dual motor mode. So 4 and 5 is front and rear. motors going simultaneously at 70 amps total. This bike, in my opinion, has a couple defining characteristics. One being the suspension. It's a dual suspension, one on each side. Aniioki claims that this bike can hold 500 pounds. 500 pounds, that's like 2.5 of me. Another defining characteristic of this bike is the spokes in the wheels. Now, that looks like a lot of spokes, and you're right, it is, but maybe that's why this bike can hold so much weight, is the spokes that are holding this bike up. 500 pounds, that's a lot of weight. The rear brake is a 6-piston brake. It looks like the front. This is 6 pistons. The front brakes are 2 pistons each. So 4 pistons total, 2 brakes. 4 divided by 2 is 2, right? I think. Yeah. And then the rear is a 6-piston brake. The Aniioki bikes, well, this one, the A8 Pro Max, came with this luggage carrier. I can put a basket on here. I can put a cooler on here. I can put bags on here. I could probably put a person on here since it has a 500-pound capacity. You could use this as a utility type vehicle on a farm or a ranch, or if you're a delivery driver in the city, you could put your Uber Eats box on here. You could put just about anything on here. You could probably put a piece of plywood on here if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, but you probably could. Finishing off that side of the bike and coming around the rear, you'll see that it has a tail light. It's a very stylish tail light. It's a working brake light and blinker that's integrated with the levers and the controls at the front. Let's come around the other side and check out the gears, the chain, and the chain ring. All right, guys, as you can see, this e-bike has a shifter. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're riding this bike, you're not gonna be pedaling this bike. The only way and the only reason you're probably ever gonna pedal this bike is if you run out of battery. I do not plan on pedaling this bike. But if you have to, it has a 7-speed Shimano shifter. Very, very standard equipment for an e-bike that is equipped with a shifter. Moving up here, guys, you'll see the chain ring in the front. One thing I wanna mention about this chain ring is how good it looks. Aniioki took the time to mill the edges on this chain ring just to give it a little bit more class, a little bit more style. I like it when a company takes the time to do something so small. It doesn't add a ton of time, it doesn't add a ton of labor, but it adds a huge impact on the way that it looks. Check it out. I like it. If y'all have watched any of my other videos, if it has a crappy seat, I'm gonna let you know about it. Why would you even make a bike and sell it with a seat that's crappy? It is not comfortable for the rider. That doesn't make any sense to me. Aniioki took the time, they made this bike with a comfortable seat, the riding position is comfortable. I could ride this thing all day. All right, gang, so that is a high-level overview of the features of the Aniioki A8 Pro Max. The one thing I really want to show you is the dashboard. Aniioki went above and beyond on the dashboard, the features. Let's get into those. All right, guys, in order to turn the bike on, they provide you with 2 remotes. I'm not sure how I feel about the remotes yet. We'll get into that a little bit later. On the bottom here, if my camera will zoom in, we have a lightning bolt on there. Click that sucker twice, got the display. The display on this e-bike is amazing. It's beautiful, look at it. And as you go through the modes, this is your miles per hour, and then this is gonna be your speed mode. You can control these modes over here by plus and minus. So right here, plus and minus. As you go up, the colors change. It looks cool. I like cool. 5 speed modes. It's like touch. That's pretty cool. I like that. You don't even really have to press the button. You just slide your finger over it. Oh, that's rad. And you can control the speed modes over here with the plus and minus on your left thumb. Over here we have a hazard light. So it has the hazards. If you're parked on the side of the road or whatever, you need to get attention, you can put the hazard lights on. And this is what I was talking about, where you have the back side of the light with the blinker. When you turn the blinker on, check it out. You can see from the back that your blinker's on by that indicator on the back side. So we turn it off, blinker goes away. Let's check out the rear blinkers. Rear blinker. Perfect. And here's our horn. Like I said, kind of a typical Sur-Ron horn, just like we're all used to. And then over here, we have our 7-speed shifter, which we probably won't be messing with much because I don't want to pedal this bike. I want to ride it like a motorcycle. So this is the dash when the bike starts up. And you'll notice here it has recording at the very top right there. There is a camera mounted to the front of the display. So when you turn this bike on, it automatically starts recording. You can go in here and press this menu button. You can go into the record. You can hit it's not a touch screen. It looks like a touch screen. Hit the arrow. See, it says recording. If you don't want to record, hit the arrow. It goes away. You can also, if you want to cancel the recording, hit the power button over here on your left thumb, and it'll bring the recording back up. See, check it out. It's recording. Let's get out of this menu. We'll go back into the main menu. To navigate this menu, you just use these pluses and minuses, and you can see where it lands. And if you want to check that menu, hit the checkbox,
and it'll show you what your recordings are. It records video and audio. Let's get out of that menu, go into the next menu. We have music. This display will hook up to your phone via Bluetooth. So let's do that real quick and see how it sounds. All right, so we got the audio going here. It's got the speakers on the back. Not super great quality, but I mean, I'm not expecting super great quality. I'm not really even sure how much I'm going to use the speakers on this thing. If I want to listen to music, I'll bring my own sound bar or something like that, or my headphones, but it's a feature worth mentioning. And then we have our settings tab over here. There are a ton of settings that you can go through and select from. I don't even know what half of them do. This is loop recording, a backlight brightness. You can change if you're Canadian or European, or us Americans, we're the only ones that use miles because I don't know, you fill in the blank. Sleep time, gear mode. We got automatic cruise settings. You can go in here and you got reset settings. If you mess something up with the controller, you can go ahead and reset the settings to factory settings. The system version, the device information, system language, and the battery voltage settings. Keep on scrolling down. We got boost starting intensity. We got a magnetic disc type. I don't even know what that means. Let's keep going. PWM settings. I don't even know what that means. This is crazy stuff. This is like tuning things. 3-level PMW. I don't know. Let's get out of here before I mess something up. Oh my gosh. That is a ton of stuff. So that was a ton of information. I know it was. I hope you're still here. What I want to do next is go do a speed test, and I want to see what the riding characteristics are like with this Aniioki A8 Pro Max in various terrain and different conditions. Let's get into it. All right, so we got the bike up to about 44, 45 miles an hour. That is incredible for an e-bike. No one thinks that these bikes can go 45 miles an hour. This one can. We just saw it. Let's get this thing in the downtown. I want to do a hill climb. I want to do a brake test, and I want to do some off-road riding for this thing so you guys can see how it handles in the dirt and on the trails. Let's go. All right, guys, so I got the Aniioki on an off-road environment. We want to check it out, see how the suspension handles, see how the tires handle in some loose gravel. I know this bike is capable of climbing big hills because it's so powerful, but I want to see what it can do in some gravel in some situations like I'm going to show you here. Now, what I will say is this bike is not a downhill mountain bike. It's not even a mountain bike. It's a cruiser type bike with off-road oriented tires. It's more of a street bike than anything, but it can handle terrain like this if you have this kind of trail in your neighborhood, of course. God damn! Too much power. Too many horsepowers. Woo! Hey, real quick, if you guys like videos on things and stuff, and what I mean by things and stuff is scooters, electric unicycles, e-bikes, electric dirt bikes, be sure to like and subscribe. So I'm on my way to downtown and I saw this hill behind me. Check this sucker out. That is a massive hill. Cameras do not do hills justice. I'm gonna climb that hill, mode 5, both motors. Let's see what we can do. Here we go. Dual motor, baby. No pedaling. Come on, baby! Come on! Golly! Look at that! Holy shit! That's an aggressive hill right there. Started from the bottom, now we're here. In this episode, I am riding into downtown Austin from my neighborhood. It's about a 10-mile drive on the Aniioki A8 Pro Max. While I'm doing it, I came across this woman on a slack line. She's about 75, 80 feet above the ground. She is tied in, but I had to add it to the film because it is just an incredible thing to see in person. Check it out. What the? Incredible. That's amazing. That's awesome. Right here on these concrete trails is where the Aniioki A8 Pro Max shines. It is a street queen. It is a street princess. It is not made for off-road jumps and use of that sort. I'm just demonstrating how stable it is, one-handed, easy peasy. This bike handles terrific.
One thing I want to iterate to you guys is the sense of freedom that these electric e-bikes, the skateboards, the one wheels give you. I was on my trip here doing the filming, and I want to take a minute to just iterate to you guys how much fun it is to be able to see parts of your city on an electric bike or a one wheel that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see in a vehicle or a truck of some kind.
So I have ridden from South Austin and I am now getting into the city of Austin. I've gone 10 miles. I've been tracking the mileage on my Relive app. I have 3 bars left on the bike. We did the hill climb on this charge. We did the speed runs on this charge. We did the ride on this charge. And I still have, I don't know how many more miles left I have to go. I can't even deplete the battery of this bike in one charge. I don't even have the time. Let's keep riding.
As I'm riding around here, I am looking for a place to demonstrate to you guys how well the suspension handles, and I think I found it. Let's go.
Ooh, I think it's time for a suspension test. All right, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I ain't scared. I don't think so. I don't think so. Find something smaller. Find something smaller. Pass the test.
After my wild and crazy suspension stunt, my brake caliper got messed up. Now I gotta live with this terrible sound.
Okay. It's not all hugs and kisses. Yeah, I know. We know the bike is fast. We know it's big. We know it's strong. We know it's powerful. We know it's got big suspension. We know all that stuff. What are a couple things I would change or do differently? On this particular bike, the front brake. The front brake is super weak. Now, what I mean by that is if you saw earlier when I did the brake test, right? It slammed on the brakes, it locked it up, but as I ride it more and more, the brake is getting softer. I can squeeze the lever all the way to the grip, I shouldn't be able to do that. There's air in the line. So I think Aniioki needs to take a little bit more time and bleed these brakes a little bit better. I saw on some other reviews, people having the same issue. Something else worth mentioning, these tires are big, they are massive, and at about 20 miles an hour or so, the front wheel will start to wobble. It'll kind of have a shake or a shimmy, and as you get going faster, the wobble goes away, the wheel almost feels like it lines itself up or becomes less of an issue, but at slower speeds, the front wheel wants to bounce around. One more thing that I would do, and it still has to do with the front brake, is the calipers. The calipers and the disc. I probably spent an hour trying to get these things lined up. You think you got it just right, you go for a ride, you get up to speed, and then the disc starts rubbing on the pads. You slow back down, the sound comes back. You come back, you adjust it, you do the thing, right? Over and over and over. Still, I could not get rid of the noise of the rubbing disc inside of the pads. The next thing I'm gonna mention isn't even a bad thing. It's just something I want you to be aware of when you're making a decision on purchasing an e-bike. This thing is heavy. It weighs about 160 pounds. So it's not gonna be something you're gonna fold up and throw in the back of your car. But with it being heavy comes really powerful bike, right? 2 motors, those are heavy. Really big battery, powerful battery.
100, 101, 102.
So not a bad thing, but just something for you to keep in mind when you are making a purchase decision on an e-bike. This is not an ordinary class 3 e-bike with a 20 amp hour battery and a 750 watt motor. This thing is like a motorcycle, damn near, 45, 50 miles an hour. Just expect that when you're riding it, and when you order yours, have that on the forefront of your mind. Let's get back to riding.
The Aniioki A8 Pro Max might be the most awesome commuter electric motorcycle on the market today. This bike has the dual motors. It can maintain a speed of 40 to 45 miles an hour very easily. You can ride through traffic. It has blinkers, it has brake lights, it has a headlight. I'm not saying you should ride in traffic. You're an adult, do your own thing. But this bike is capable of taking you just about anywhere.
So I made it back to South Austin. My ass is killing me. We went 27 miles on this bike on one charge. I still have 2 battery bars left out of 5. I bet I could probably go another 40 miles on this thing. The one thing I do want to mention though is the riding that I've been doing, I was in mode 5, both motors, just smoking it into downtown and back, doing the riding around, doing the speed test, the hill climbs, the whole thing. 27 miles, unbelievable.